expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? But can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Hello, everybody. Welcome inside the Thursday episode of Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig alongside Mr. Ty Bartell, as we have a jam-packed show for you today. Man, get out of my window, Ty. Switch you up there. We have a jam-packed show for you today. 4 guests live on the show, plus one that we just did before the show.
Like just before, like it's going to be fresh off the oven for you guys.
So just to round out who we're having on today, we are going to have Nicolina, Pizzone, and Melina Williams, both from Struthers softball. They're going to be kind of doing them not together, but rotating door, kind of like the Boardman softball players did last week. We have Foley from Fitch softball joining us at 12:30. 12:45, excuse me. Mark Bunch joining us at 1 o'clock. I got this all mixed up. Okay. Nicolina Pizzone and Melina Williams will be on from 12:15. We'll do both of them in consecutive order. Ali Foley at 12:45, Mark Bunch at 1 o'clock. We're going to feature an interview with Samantha A., also from Fitch softball. Both those players, Foley and A., have both committed to play at the next level in college.
Yep. And we just love featuring our athletes too that commit to the next level too, and we love having them on Running Point. And we've kind of done a kind of dive into the AAC. We've had some Howland, some Boardman, a lot of Boardman actually. And from what I'm hearing too, there might be talks of more Boardman eventually coming on.
They come out of the woodworks once you get a couple of them. They're like, we want on. We're gonna have, I think, the Boardman Junior, all 3 Boardman Juniors on Monday. So.
That'll be
since they advanced and their season's still kicking. I said, let's go, let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they got a nice little win. And like I said too, with Boardman, you got to watch out. That's a senior heavy group. It's experienced, and I mean, having not 1 but 2 pitchers that are reliable in the circle with Maddie Lester and Tori Strines. Watch out, Spartans might be able to put something together.
Districts are set in Divisions 1 and Division 4, as those were both last night. Let's take a look at how it kind of lines up. In that Division 1 district semifinal, Boardman advances. They will play the winner. Oh, actually, it's updated now. The bracket took a minute to update. They will actually be playing New Philadelphia, the 3 seed, at the district semifinals on Monday. Those will be at Maslin Washington High School. Boardman got the 3-0 win last night over Uniontown Lake to advance to the Division 1 Maslin District semifinals. That game is on Monday at first pitch is 5 o'clock. It's game 2 of a doubleheader, so I have to say approximately 5. It depends on how fast the game goes between Riverside and Walsh Jesuit, which is slated for a 2 o'clock start time. So 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock. That should be done in plenty of time to get Boardman ready to go by 5.
Some early times too. I mean, I was looking ahead too on the Division 1 Austintown bracket, and Austintown right now they're matched up with Louisville, and I think they're at 3:30 start time for that one
in Fitch.
Yeah, so I mean,
you think like Louisville, they got to get out of school early for that because
really
they have a trek to Austintown. You want to get there
50 minutes, yeah.
You want to get there 40 minutes before the game, so you probably want to get there by like 2:45, 2:50. you got to leave that school by before 2.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And this one should be another good matchup too. All YSN, so we of course love it. We're guaranteed some representation in the next round.
Let's go over those other matchups in Division 1 as Louisville, they beat Howland in a slug match. And we'll jump over to the Austintown district since Boardman's our only team in that Massillon district.
But they keep winning, so keep trekking along, D1. Let's go. Let's go.
So here we go. Austintown Fitch, they get the 10-0 win over Kent Roosevelt. Sydney Watts, perfect game.
Perfect.
Another day at the office, home run. I feel like her and McKenna Hogan are like Tom Brady and Gronk after the win. So they go into the Super Bowl just doing the whole.
There's something else.
They should probably do that. That would be a good content if they win like a district.
They're doing some amazing things, and I mean another great performance. And I was fortunately able to be there towards the end of that game too. And I told Coach Ward afterwards, I was like, "What are they trying to do? Just keep topping themselves? Because it seems like that's what they're trying to do every game. Just top what they did in the last one."
17-seeded Louisville beats 12-seeded Howland 13-9. Maddie Benson, congratulations. The sophomore hit another home run. She is now the official home run queen in Louisville. That makes 12 on the season and counting. And she'll look to maybe add another one against the fireball pitcher of Sydney Watts. So that Louisville lineup is going to test. It's going to test.
Absolutely. Maddie Benson's just in the kitchen right now. Like, I'm cooking up a dozen of home runs for you. Dozen bombs that I'm going to serve up on the season.
What Coach Miller does is she just says, okay, we have Kenzie Denzer. We're going to lead her off, and then we're going to protect her by Maddie Benson. And then if you don't pitch to either one of those, hey, we have people like Jenna Collins in the middle of that lineup that you're going to have to deal with runners on base. It's tough.
They're a real deal when they schedule too. So like, don't look at their record and just glare over it. Like Louisville plays some of the best too. So they're going to be prepared for this fifth matchup. It's going to be a fun one too. I think
here's what worries me. Just looking at this matchup, I'm getting giddy about it because I think it's going to be a good one. Louisville's pitcher, Katie Heath, who has been great, has been not giving up a whole lot of runs, comes in relief a lot of times when they start other girls. She is not a strikeout pitcher. She's a pitch to contact pitcher, I should say. And when you're a contact pitcher and you're playing Austintown Fitch, who loves to put the ball in play and use their speed and athleticism to get on base, that's going to be a tough way to navigate that lineup.
No doubt. And I mean, it's
because when Fitch struggles, it's because they strike out, right? Like they're not putting the ball in play. And Katie Heath is not a strikeout pitcher.
But we'll see. I mean, it's going to be a big chess match for Division 1 too. But we still got 3 teams in it. We're going to have hopefully at least where we're guaranteed 1. Hopefully we have 2 though, making it to the next round.
We'll talk a little Division 4 districts in a bit, but first we have to get to some interviews from Struthers. We're going to be joined by Nicolina Pizzone and Melina Williams, both from Struthers High School. And guys, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having us.
I guess the first question is, who wants to go first?
Yeah, who wants to go first?
It doesn't matter.
All right, let's start with Nicolina, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Give the pitcher some love. Ty, kick us off.
Let's first and foremost just talk about this pitching performance that you guys have in this tournament game. I mean, Struthers community so proud of you. You guys finally, it culminates. You guys put it all together and you get a big tournament win. Talk about this season experience and what it was like to go out there and get a big tournament win.
It was awesome. It was really a big win for us because Jefferson has beat us in the past. And it was just a really competitive game overall. And I feel like we put our best efforts out there. And yeah, we were really happy with the outcome.
Nicolina, you guys have been through ups and downs this year in the Struthers softball. How have you guys stayed confident through it all and stayed together as a unit?
We just tried to keep the environment positive and know that we're capable of success. And yeah, just having a good mindset overall and knowing that we're capable and being confident, like you said.
Also talking about that and just commanding the circle this year. Talk about competing against the tough NE8 conference that you guys had to this season, as well as just what kind of growth you saw from yourself over the course of the season.
Yeah, our conference is super competitive, and at the beginning it was a little bit rough, but towards the end we're working things out and developing more confidence in ourselves. And pitching against this conference is not easy. There's a lot of good competition, and I think we're doing pretty well with it right now.
How much has your experience pitching through the lineups in this conference really, do you think, prepared you for not just the tournament, but softball as your career goes on?
Oh yeah, 100%. This competition is definitely going to prepare me for the Division II level moving forward. So yeah, for sure.
Compare that though with the fact that you're a great pitcher in the circle, but you're batting over 600 on the season. You got 4 bombs on the season. Let's talk about that dynamic a little bit of changing it up between going in the circle to being in the batter's box. Do you have any superstitions for either one of those? And what is that is there a switch that you have to kind of flick on and off between the circle and the batter's box?
No, I don't think so. I love doing both. I just try to be really aggressive when I'm up to bat. And then when I'm in the circle, it's not really different, like, with the two. I just try to, like, stay confident, be aggressive, and just put my all out there,
We know there's a family connection in Struthers with baseball and softball. Talk about that dynamic and how competitive you two get with each other.
Oh, yeah. Me and Olinda are very competitive. We practice together. Our dad takes us out to the field all the time. We're out there hitting balls, playing catch. We have a good bond together, and it's just nice having a brother who loves the same sport that you do, and getting to practice together. It's awesome.
And when you look at this entire Struthers community, coming together, huge for you guys, especially after this win. The support you guys have been getting on social media has been outstanding. What's that like to get that kind of support from a community too, and know that they're always going to have your back no matter what?
It really means everything. I love seeing the support. It just means a lot to us both.
So before we go any further, you are going to be playing softball at the next level, and we don't want to I don't want to take it away from you. So let's, for those who don't know, announce where you're going to play and what made that decision kind of easy, and what went into that decision.
So this fall, I will be playing at the University of Charleston in West Virginia, and I really love the school. I chose it because I really like the campus. It's very beautiful. There's a lot to do down there. It's definitely a change because it's 4 hours away, but I'm excited for that. The softball program is great. They're very successful and very competitive in the Mountain East Conference. And I also like the majors that they have. One that I'm really interested in is communications, so I'm really looking forward to that as well.
And a quick follow-up, because you were committed before you came into this season. How much pressure did that take off you this year to know that all was done, your recruiting process was over, and you could just focus on Struthers softball this season?
Yeah, I feel really relaxed. Not too much pressure. It's just nice knowing that I have something to look forward to moving forward.
Having been there and done that, and obviously being a senior for this program, what's some or a bit of advice that I guess you would give to some younger players or to some players that are interested in joining the Struthers program about what it's about and what it means to be a Wildcat?
Being a Wildcat means everything. To the little girls out there, dream big, work hard, and never give up. Times will get rough, but you know that you have to keep going in order to succeed, and that just have confidence in what you do and just never give up.
Who are some underclassmen on this team that you've kind of taken under your wing and been able to mentor and are going to be taking pride in their success as they go forward?
I got one sitting right next to me right here. Myleena, she's an awesome catcher. We have a lot of underclassmen, not many freshmen. She's our only freshman, but we have Emma Morris, Ava Hall, Lexa, who else is there? Morgan, Brooke, Bella, all of them. Mm-hmm.
When you look at having that lead this team this year, what kind of things did you attribute to you becoming a leader, and what are some of the biggest things you learned on your journey to becoming a senior leader for this team?
So when I was little, I was always so shy. Like I never really had a voice, but this year and like last year, I learned to like be a leader and speak up more. And it's really nice getting to like be a positive impact on teammates and just showing that leadership to them as well.
Obviously, that has to come with some confidence. Where did the confidence come from, and how much do you think you've grown from freshman year to now?
Well, I think I've grown a ton. Like my confidence has gone from here to way up here. Just practicing more and being more confident in my abilities, working on the little things to make sure I know exactly what I'm doing. Also practicing the mental game, that is so important too. It's not just like the physical part. It's very mental. So yeah.
When you look at this entire season, too, I mean, you're having a successful year in both the box and the circle. You obviously have had to deal with a lot of coaches along the way, too, and you probably been coached by many coaches. What's some of the best advice, or maybe the most impactful thing that kind of sticks out in your mind that you've taken away from some of your coaches over the years?
There's so much. But one thing is that you have to like really want it. You have to be passionate about what you're doing. And if you're like not passionate about it, then you're not going to succeed. So you really got to want it. That's one of the main things I've learned through all of my experience.
All right, Nicolina, it's time for the rapid fire part of this interview to
Okay.
get to know you a little bit off the field and try to have some fun.
All right.
I'll start with this. Do you wet your toothbrush before or after you put toothpaste on it?
I wet it before and after.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No, it's a hot dog.
There you go. Hot dogs or hamburgers, though? Which one do you lean towards?
Probably hamburgers.
What has been your favorite age? Like if you had to pick an age that you could live forever so far in your life, what age would you pick?
12.
Oh, I love that. That was so quick too. It didn't even take any time.
Oh, yeah.
12 must have been a great year for you. Who are some teachers that have impacted your life throughout your journey?
So many. From just high school or
Yeah, throughout 12 years old.
12 years old. I can't go that far back.
I know.
From middle school, I say like Mr. Stoddard. There's a lot. And from high school, probably Miss Mickler, Mr. Daly, Mr. Malk. Literally all of them. They're all so amazing.
What's the best food at the concession stands at the Struthers Fieldhouse?
The Chick-fil-A sandwiches.
Yes, I was gonna go with cotton candy, but that's okay.
We don't have cotton candy.
At the Fieldhouse, yeah, you do.
Not at ours.
What is your favorite type of music?
I like country and like worship music.
If someone was going to describe you in 3 words, what 3 words do you think they would use?
Probably smart. I hope so. Athletic and maybe inspiring.
What's your favorite season of the year?
I like fall and spring.
If you could travel back in time to any era, what time would you travel back to?
Probably the 90s.
Who is your favorite superhero?
Spider-Man.
Who is your real life hero?
Probably my parents.
Books or movies?
Books.
What was the last book you read?
I think Stolen.
What's your favorite book?
Probably that book.
What fictional death hit you the hardest?
What'd you say?
What fictional death hit you the hardest?
Fictional death. Probably Marley and Me, that movie.
Yeah, that one brings back tough memories. What is your favorite animal? If you could have any animal for a pet, what would you have?
A dog.
If usually people go exotic with that, but hey, to each its own. What's your favorite color?
I like purple and blue.
Best post-game meal?
Chipotle.
And before we let you go, last one. If you could afford any car, what car would you want to drive?
A Range Rover.
All right, and we do want to give you the chance to thank your support system, the people that are always there for you throughout your journey, and the people that you probably wouldn't be where you are without.
All right, I'd like to thank all my coaches, past coaches and current coaches, my hitting coach Nick, my pitching coach Jess, and my parents most of all.
All right, Nicolina, thank you for joining us today, and turn that camera a little over, and let's get to the next one. All right, go from a senior to a freshman, and Melina Williams. Melina, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Melina, I guess the first question I have for you is, I mean, coming in as a freshman, what was your outlook before this season coming in as a freshman to a varsity squad? And what are some of the biggest things that you've learned along the way?
Coming in as a freshman, I was very nervous because I was the only freshman joining varsity filled with a bunch of upperclassmen. But once I've joined the team, they've welcomed me a lot. I felt more comfortable playing with them, and we all got closer during the season.
Staying on that track, I'm sure you had some expectations of what it was going to be like before the season. How have expectations kind of met reality as far as being on the varsity squad?
Can you repeat the question again?
So I'm sure you had expectations of what it was going to be like to be on the varsity softball team before the season started. So now that you're almost all the way through your season, how did the expectations compare to what it actually is?
So like I said, I was scared. I really thought that they were not gonna like me, and I got on the team. I've got closer with all of them. They've all been nice to me, and we've just been getting along all good. Especially me and Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Our bond. We were both shy persons, and we've started to talk more, and now we talk a lot.
Yep.
Talk about that relationship then, and just how that has built over the season and how much stronger that makes both of you, not only with Nicolina pitching in the circle, but just you guys as hitters too, just knowing you have each other's back and you can kind of talk to each other, bounce ideas off of each other.
I didn't know if he was asking a question. Yeah, it was pretty rough. I'm not really a talkative person and stuff. Yeah.
Talk
Yeah.
about this coaching staff, though, being under it and how much it has helped you kind of open up this season.
For coaching, Barb and Travis, they've talked to me a lot, gave me confidence in playing, because I was nervous and scared that for the first game, I didn't know if I was going to do good, I was going to do bad, and they've talked me into having more confidence in playing.
Where did the interest in softball first start, and where did it get peaked, and what made you want to continue the sport into the high school level?
So I started t-ball with my aunt, and my aunt has been my coach since I was 7. And then we moved to slow pitch for Milk Creek, and I went to rec ball where my aunt had coached me, and I had lots of fun. So I've wanted to keep playing, make it my main sport, and we've decided to go to travel ball where I play for Steel Valley Storm, my coach Millage, and my aunt also helps coach that too. And I started catching during my rec ball season and decided to stick with catching and learn more of catching and just grow more on that.
What makes you proud to be able to represent Struthers and represent the colors and wear Struthers across your chest every night?
I'm glad to support them and play with them because I get to show them what I can do and how we can make our team good and improve better.
Take us inside the locker room and inside the field a little bit. Who's the goofiest teammate, or what's the goofiest thing a teammate has done this season that really got you laughing?
I think Morgan
With the megaphone.
with the megaphone, especially Tennessee trip, when she thought there was a bear outside of our cabin, and she screamed through the whole cabin and woke everyone up.
With the megaphone.
Yeah.
Trips like Tennessee and things like that, building chemistry off the field. What have been some of your favorite memories with this team off the field, other than the one you just said?
Going out to eat and being able to talk and laugh a lot, and usually after our games, either go out to eat or
The bus rides are really fun, too.
Yeah. I think the Tennessee bus ride was pretty fun too.
How important do you think that trip to Tennessee was for you to get comfortable with this team and for you to really start bonding with your teammates?
I think it was a lot because before the Tennessee trip, we were all not like comfortable with each other. We didn't all talk as much. And once we got to the Tennessee trip, we all hung out, talked more, got more comfortable with each other. And after that, we've had a great bond with each other.
A lot of people like to focus on the athlete part, but you're a student too, going into your freshman year. What has been the best part of the school year so far academically for you as a freshman?
Just like, well, all my classes, I like all of them, but Spanish, a hard subject, but it's helping me more. Or like if I want to go to college, where I would need my languages in order to get to college. So if I need to help someone, then I could understand them and know what to help them with.
Who's someone in the softball world that you've looked up to and you'd consider a role model?
Most likely Nicolina.
Aw, that's so sweet.
How well did you know Nicolina before you came into this program, like before freshman season?
I haven't known Nick because last year was my first year in Struthers, and this year I'm a freshman. I didn't know anyone, and I was very shy before I met her. I was scared to meet her, and once I've met her and we started talking more, I got more comfortable and more happier that I met her.
She's got that superstar status where you're scared to meet her. Talk about the culture in this program and what you think. If I had to ask you to describe the personality of this team, how would you describe it?
Our team, we struggle a little, but we do great. We put up a fight. We keep trying. We never give up, and we just work hard.
Getting kind of acclimated with the Struthers community, as you said, coming into it a couple years ago. What's been like the favorite hangout spot or the favorite like relaxing spot in the Struthers community for you guys to go, or somewhere to go with your friends?
I think either going to like the park, like our Struthers park by our softball fields, just to like hang out and talk and just have fun.
All right, it is time for your rapid fire portion of the interview, and we're going to try to get to know you a little bit off the field and have some fun before we let you go. So I'll start with, what is your nickname if you have one, and if you don't, what do you wish your nickname was?
For softball, I have a nickname and they call me My. For travel ball, I have a player on my team where her grandparents started calling me My. So everyone just calls me My.
What is one thing that you spend money on that you probably shouldn't spend a lot of money on?
I spend a lot of money on candy, and I'm not supposed to be eating candy because I have braces.
It's tough.
That.
What was your last impulse buy?
Maybe shopping for shoes. I like to. But
who do you text the most?
I text my aunt the most about sports and just my schoolwork, but mainly about the sports.
What was the last thing you texted your aunt?
I've texted her about the interview today, and she's just me.
What was your last Google search? This doesn't have to be super accurate, but the last thing you searched for on Google.
The last thing I searched was it was like not too long ago. I was looking up shoes because I have a shoe website that I like to look at a lot and just look at different many shoes.
What is your hidden talent?
My hidden talent. Well, sometimes I'm quiet a lot, and people will think that I'm very quiet, and then once they get to talk to me, I'm just like very energetic and start to goof around a lot and mess around.
What's your favorite board game?
I like playing Monopoly.
Who wins in family game night?
Usually me, or if I'm with my aunt, she wins a lot.
What's your favorite Disney character?
I like Belle.
If you could have a dinner with anybody, alive or dead, who would you want to have dinner with?
I would want to have a dinner with, I would say, my Nana.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you want to live?
Ooh. I would love to live in Hawaii and stay in like the nice weather.
What's a world record that you think you would have a shot at breaking?
My track, like my 100 meter.
What game show do you think you would have the best chance at winning?
I wouldn't say Family Feud because I'm not the best at answering that fast. So I would say,
Like Deal or No Deal or something.
yeah, Deal or No Deal.
Yes.
Pretty good at those games.
All right, since Nicolina said that 12-year-old herself was the best year that she had, I'm going to ask you, would your 12-year-old self think that yourself is cool right now?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Probably not.
No.
What is the best friendship you've ever had?
Well, with my cousins, I hang around with my cousins a lot because we're all super close. So I would say them.
Salty or sweet?
Sweet.
What is your guilty pleasure dessert?
Ice cream.
What flavor of ice cream?
Chocolate.
And who makes the best ice cream?
Handles.
That's it. That's the way to do it. If you were to pick a superpower, what superpower would you want?
I would like to fly.
All right, before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to thank your support system, the people that are always there for you, and the people that you wouldn't be here on this journey without.
First, I would like to thank my Aunt Raylene for helping me get into sports and helping me with everything. I would like to thank my grandma for always being here for me and helping me. I would also like to thank all my coaches for travel ball, high school ball, and especially my track coaches.
All right, Melina, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We love talking to you. We know you're going to have a wonderful career at Struthers. We'll continue covering it, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You got it, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
having
much.
us.
All right, that was Nicolina Pizzone and Melina Williams, both from Struthers softball, taking the time to join us today after their big win on Tuesday night over Jefferson, a walk-off sac fly from Maddie Bayes to give the Wildcats a 6-5 win over Jefferson. They will be playing in Poland tonight to try to punch a ticket to the district semifinals.
Melina Williams, another one of those really good freshmen in the area too that, like we said, bursted on the
Add it
scene.
to the list, man. Just add it to the list.
Batting 500 on the season, 569 on base percentage. I mean, couple home runs. What else can you ask for from a freshman too? I mean, she's going to have a great career there at Struthers, no doubt. And you know what? Props to the freshmen too, having some great interviews. And you got to imagine it's going to be nerve-wracking to be 14, 15 years old going on to an interview. I can't imagine myself at that age doing interviews. And these freshmen are doing fantastic jobs too, blowing us away in more than one area.
Can you imagine like that feel like, because Nicolina Pizzone has been kind of a superstar in Struthers since a freshman. She's been starting in the circle. I feel like she's been there forever. So to be able to be a freshman and say, I'm going to catch that, like I'm going to be her battery mate. I'm going to be catching her. I'm going to be leading her in the circle. I'm going to be trying to help her call pitches. It's got to be like she said, she was scared to meet her. Of course, I am not surprised at all. But then to hear how well Nicolina has handled the situation and has taken her and led her and helped her grow as a person and as a player. It's just one of those tips of the hats to Nicolina Pizzone for her leadership and her ability to lead people.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting some love in the comment section too, for those two. And I mean, they did a fantastic job to lead off our show, and we get into that NE8 a little bit. I mean, hey, another team that's alive in the NE8. We talk about the AAC, and there's some good teams there, but the NE8 has some pretty good softball teams as well.
Hubbard is still alive. South Range obviously still alive. Poland's still alive. Struthers still alive. A lot of teams still kicking in that NE8.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, they're always a hard out too, and they don't go down without a fight.
Let's go over a couple because we have 12:45. We're going to have Ali Foley come on. So in the next 10 minutes, I do want to kind of finish up our district recap from the results last night. We talked about Louisville getting the win last night. They will play Fitch on Monday, who also got the win. Perfect game. We go into Division 4, which was also last night, into the North Jackson bracket. The top of the bracket was a non-YSN matchup. Bristol was able to win the 2 seed in the district. And then at Western Reserve was able to beat East Canton 11-1. So Western Reserve will play Bristol on Monday in Jackson Milton in game 1 of that district semifinal doubleheader. And then on the other side of the bracket, Lisbon was able to win 5-1 over Southern. And Jackson Milton and McDonald squared off for the third time this season. McDonald scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th, and they got the 8-5 victory over Jackson Milton to move on. So it'll be the 5-seeded McDonald Blue Devils against the 6-seeded Lisbon Blue Devils, and then at the top it'll be the 4-seeded Western Reserve Blue Devils. 3 Blue Devils in the district semifinals. And Bristol breaks the trend as the Panthers are the 2 seed. They'll be in there. So it really went shock. It's 5-6, 2-4 in that district semifinal.
Yeah, and I mean, when we look at it too, that's going to be interesting to see. We have 75% chance of a YSN team coming out on top of it. So let's go YSN. Let's get one out of here.
And the other bracket that we have teams in Division 4, Matthews, the 1 seed, of course, they did away with their sectional championship quickly, 15-1 on the other end. Badger got the victory over JFK. They won 8-0. So Badger, the 17 seed, with the upset over JFK, they will play Matthews on Monday at 4:00. And then in the other district semifinal, Chalker got the win over Lowville. That final score was 9-3. And then you have Brookfield getting the win over Middle Ridge. Shout out to Miranda Nicholson, threw a no-hitter in that game. So the Brookfield moving on. They will go up to play Chalker, the 7 seed, on Monday at 5:30. Those games will be in Kinsman, which of course is the home of the Badger Braves. And that's where that district will be held. So once again, in Badger, the district semifinals are set for Monday at 4 and 5:30. And the first game will be Matthews against Badger. The second game will be at Chalker against Brookfield.
Getting more love too in the comment section are the Cats too. And I mean, hey, you might have woken the sleeping giant because the Struthers faithful might all be swarm in the comment section now.
Remember, this is the same community. Way back when we started this show, one of the first interviews we had was their football coach. And he was telling us that they were lined up to see a practice that wasn't even open to the public.
They're nuts in that community, man. They love their sports and they support their schools better than a lot. So I mean, yeah, they're definitely coming out, and it was a great interview with both of those. But talking more on Division 4 too, I mean, just looking on that softball realm of things, a lot of great chances too. But you got to figure right now, Matthews is the one team you got to look at in this particular region where you're going to probably have to knock them off. And I mean, just to give you a kind of case too, they played Fitch tight. I believe it was what, 2-1, 3-1, I believe.
3-1.
3-1 was the score final. That's
Poland beat them 3-0. It's been a lot of close games for Matthews, and they play obviously great teams. They attract great teams because they're a great program. District semifinals are Monday for Division 4 and 1. It'll be Tuesday for Divisions 2 and 3, and then that district championship for Division 4 will be on Wednesday at 5:00, and I believe the district championship for Divisions 2 and 3 will be on Thursday. So we have the district set for 1 and 4 tonight. There'll be the sectional finals for Divisions 2 and 3, and by tomorrow we'll know the teams that are lined up in the district semifinals to fight for a shot at the district championship.
Yeah, and maybe a little bit later in the show, we'll look ahead at some of these district or sectional final matchups, I should say, for Division 2 and 3, and just some that are going to be piquing the interest of us here, as well as some games that we'll have on the network for you as well.
Also, later on the show, we'll talk about the results from baseball, and if you can't wait that long, there are all the recaps are on ysnlive.com. Boardman got the win, just to kind of glaze over, give a tease. So that's a share of the AAC championship. Who had Boardman and Fitch sharing the AAC on their bingo card? Anybody? No?
It's
like if you would have told me before the season, not just that the AAC would be shared, but it wouldn't be shared by Canfield. What? But hey, that's why baseball is so fun, and that's why that AAC is so tough. They're proving that sentiment real quick. So all that more coming up. We're going to take our first break of the day. When we get back, we'll talk to Allie Foley from Austintown Fitch Softball, Mark Bunch from Middle Ridge Baseball coming on at 1:00. He has thrown 2 consecutive no-hitters in 2 starts. So he is on some kind of hot streak for the Rams. We'll talk to him at 1:00, and then more in the second hour Running Point on YSN, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
For a great vehicle and a great experience, come to Boardman Mitsubishi today. As always, our full lineup of Mitsubishi models comes with a standard 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Boardman Mitsubishi, your hometown Mitsubishi dealer since 1999.
Coca's Pizza, always supporting our community and our local athletes. Stop in on game day or score big and have it delivered right to your door. Check out our daily specials at cocaspizza.com. That's Coca's Pizza, we serve it hot.
At Hubbard Chevrolet, Hubbard can help you get the financing you need regardless of your situation. I'm Tony Page, and I've helped thousands of customers in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania buy a vehicle. Visit HubbardChevy.com to get pre-approved. Remember, folks, Hubbard can help.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Excuse me. Whoa. That just slowly, I never had a cough slowly progress like that before, where it's like build, 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 build. Then it turned my voice into like Kermit the Frog. And then I coughed. That was weird. Weird experience on Thursday edition of Running Point. We are very, very close to having Ali Foley on. She's coming on at 12:45 any minute now. And she has an announcement of where she'll be playing in college, as well as Sammy A, who we will be featuring an interview with a little bit later on in the show.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of Falcons and a lot of area athletes committing to the next level too. And I mean, it just goes to show how great baseball and softball is in the area, as well as we're also seeing like football commits still happening well into this season too. So I mean, athletes all over the area are being committed to the next level, and it's just great to see.
Signing days galore. Signing days everywhere. So here is Ali Foley, and we're gonna pop her in off the green room. Ali, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
All right, Ali, let's first and foremost just talk about this senior season and this experience with this team. What's it been like from your perspective? And just highlight some of the highlights of the season.
This season has honestly been like the best season I've had yet. Our bond between our team is honestly like amazing. Everyone loves each other. We have so much fun in the dugouts, and we're having success with it this year.
You're particularly having fun in the dugouts. We've talked to a lot of your teammates, and they've singled you out as the loudest in the dugout. Like, does that put responsibility on your shoulders to say, "Hey, I'm the loudest. I got to be loud. I got to bring my A game to this dugout every time"?
No, I just have fun with it. We just like making noise. It's not even like we use our voices. We just hit things, just make noises, sing random songs. It's
I need to ask where the happy birthday came for Bella Topo, because it's been Bella's birthday, I think 3 or 4 games in a row now, it seems like.
Yeah, I think it started with Maddie Butis, actually. I don't know how it happened, but we were just picking someone to sing it to, so we just sang it to Bella, and now it's just every time she's up, it's her cheer for her, I guess.
Okay, we don't want to go too much further without giving you the chance to announce where you're going to be continuing your career. I know you made that decision pretty recently, so let everyone know where you're going and where they can find you the next 4 years.
I'm going to Hawking College. It's down in Nelsonville, Ohio. It's like 10 minutes from OU. It's in like Hawking Hills area.
And what made that decision so easy for you to go down there too? And what was the kind of process of elimination to Hawking?
It was my first visit there with Coach Kevin Lewis. He's honestly amazing. He was really like welcoming and opening, and he told it's a first year program last year, like the last season. So I really wanted to go there and set the standard and just continue to build the program.
And now that you've kind of made that decision and the recruiting process is over, how much of a relief is it, and how much pressure does it take off of you to know that you don't have to worry about all that mess that comes with getting recruited anymore?
Yeah, it took off a lot off my shoulders. The process is so hard and like drawn out, and going to different visits, missing school and catching up on that schoolwork. So once I finally signed, and then even when I verbally committed to Hawking, it was a big relief.
What do you attribute to being able to commit to the next level? I guess in a sense, for any athletes that want to make it to the next level or want to commit to the next level, what's some advice you would offer in being able to do so?
I would offer I would say have definitely an open mind during the recruitment process, because you'll get offers and you'll never think that that's where you would want to go, and then you have your visit there and it's like you really enjoy yourself there, and to be patient. And definitely it's a long process. It took a while, but and to be confident in yourself that you can do it.
Outside of softball, what else do you want to do down there? Or do you have a major yet?
I'm either going to do psychology or business. I was always like for sure psychology until the past couple of weeks. I was like thinking about business because it's so easy to get a job out of that major, but I'm not too sure yet.
Do you have any like dream jobs that either one of those two majors could bring you?
A forensic psychologist is something I've always wanted to do. I think it's so cool how they work with like different people and they get to hear their side of like everything.
When you look at your time here with Fitch and your time with Coach Ward in particular, what kind of impact has Coach had on your softball career and your outlook on it?
Coach Ward has made like amazing impact on my softball career. He's taught me so much that I didn't think I would be taught. And he's definitely valued like the character over the actual player. And I think he really helped build our bonds because we all value each other as ourselves so we can value one another. And he really started that process in Fitch, and it works.
To stay on that track, same question, but instead of just Coach Ward, the whole Fitch school system and how much the teachers and the staff and the faculty have just helped you kind of grow into the person you are today.
Yeah, Fitch staff here is really amazing. Everyone's very supportive of all the sports and not just like some of them. Like Fitch softball does give a lot of recognition that like most softball programs don't get. It's kind of like a pushover sometimes, but Fitch really values all the sports here, and that just helps out a lot.
What's some of the best advice you've received in your softball career from coach, teacher, what have you?
Definitely Coach Ward's. This year he says person over player, and that really stuck with me this year when I first heard it, and then it's continued to grow with me that you really just got to build your character and then be the person that you can be before you can go out and be that star player.
You guys were one of the many teams around the country that tried to honor mental health awareness during the craziness in the softball world. How much did that mean to you guys as a program to have that moment and be able to wear the purple ribbons and show homage to the fallen student athletes that have struggled with mental health?
Yeah, it definitely meant a lot to our program because it's something that a lot of people like look past is student athlete health, mental health, because it's hard to play sports and then also be involved in the school while getting those good grades. And I don't think people realize the pressure that it has. So honestly, once we recognized that happened, we definitely had some talks about it, and then just make sure you're checking up on all your teammates and everyone and make sure everything's going good.
What are some things you do to kind of get away from the softball world if you need to, or if there's too much pressure at a time? What are some of the ways you can decompress?
I work a lot, actually. I like going to work a lot. It takes my mind off softball. It takes my mind off school. Spending time with my friends. Most of my friends are my teammates, so I'm always with them. And getting to spend that time just away from them or away from the field, but still being with them, it definitely helps a lot because they're just so encouraging, and then we just know how to treat each other.
What's the go-to hangout for Fitch softball?
Go-to hangout. I'd say my house, honestly. There's been some times we went over my house and we just cooked dinner, made a huge mess. It's always came out good. And then we've also been a Steak and Shake a couple times.
And looking in your wacky 4-year high school experience too, ones that most students will probably not have a similar experience, what's some of the biggest things you've learned about yourself and your emphasis of person over player? What's the biggest things you've learned about yourself in these 4 years?
I've definitely learned a lot more than just the softball game. I've learned, especially with the COVID year, we were all ready to play and then our season got canceled last minute. So it was really hard to just work out and keep doing stuff over the winter and then to not have anything. So it's just really to care about things because the seniors didn't get to play there last year. So just to really take hold of the moment and just to appreciate everything.
And with Fitch players, we love to talk about this home field advantage that you have. You've been able to play more games than most because of the turf field. And anytime that an opponent's field is not playable, you can just bring them over to Fitch. What's it like playing in this facility? And what's it mean to you that you have a school system that it cares enough about you guys to make such a nice facility?
Yeah, definitely having that turf field was nice because we got to play a lot of games. So we got to talk well with each other more. So we had more games in than most other teams because it was really rainy this season for some reason. And definitely the school caring about Fitch softball and their program. It's nice how they don't value just one sport. They value all the sports. And it was good to get some games in.
Being that the district is in Austintown and that's the one you guys obviously went into, do you feel like there's an added chip on your shoulder or maybe a little added pressure to defend home field?
Personally, I don't feel any pressure from it. I think it's more of an advantage because we're used to the turf. Not a lot of schools are used to the turf, especially in the outfield. On those bounces, they get a little whack out there, the bounce over your head. So having that advantage of that turf, I think, will really help us.
All right, Allie, it is time for the rapid fire section of this interview where we're going to try to get to know you a little bit off the field and have some fun before we let you go. And I'm going to start with this one. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
If you could have any pet in the world, what pet would you want?
I'd want a sloth.
Do you have pets? And if you do, what do you think they would say about you if they could talk?
My one dog, Bella, would probably ask me, like, why I say some of the things I do.
Books or movies?
Definitely movies.
What was the last movie that you saw in the theater?
I couldn't tell you, honestly.
What's your favorite movie then?
My favorite movie? I like the movie Up.
The one that rips your heart out in the first 10 minutes? That's great.
I like
what if you could have any superpower in the world, what would you want?
reading minds.
Who's your favorite superhero?
Superman.
Who's your real life hero?
My real life hero is my dad.
A night out or a night in?
Night out.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunsets.
What's your favorite breakfast food?
Pancakes.
What was one childhood fear that you've had?
Spiders.
Do you still have it?
Yes.
What is the best friendship you've ever had?
Definitely the one with Sophia Senedak.
If you could go back in time to any era, what era would you want to go back in time to?
The 90s. I've always wanted the 90s.
If you could have dinner with anyone living or dead, who would you want to have dinner with?
My grandma.
Who has been the most inspirational person in your life?
Definitely my dad again.
Okay, we go back to your pet. What is the weirdest thing that your pet does?
She likes to, she tries to jump out of the windows a lot.
Do you have a nickname? And if you don't, what do you wish your nickname was?
My nickname is Alligator.
What's your walk-up song?
It's Trippy Red. It's the Grinch. It's the instrumental part of it.
What does your playlist look like? What kind of music do you like listening to?
I listen to everything, mostly like 90s rap.
What teammate can make you smile no matter what the circumstances are?
Ayla Ray and Sophia Senedak.
What's the best gift you've ever received?
I don't know, probably my first phone ever.
Now we're going to flip it. What was the one gift that you were most excited to give?
Definitely some of like my Mother's Day gifts because she probably liked them the most.
What fictional death hit you the hardest?
I don't
know. If you had to appear on a game show, what game show would you have the best chance of winning?
Wheel of Fortune.
If we were to take you to karaoke night, what's your go-to karaoke song?
Young, Wild, and Free.
What is one song on your playlist that you're embarrassed that it pops up?
Probably like half my playlist, honestly.
What is the quickest way to your heart?
Quickest way to my heart? Cheese quesadillas.
Yes. Salty or sweet?
Salty.
What's your guilty pleasure dessert?
I don't know, chocolate.
What is one thing that other people don't think is a big deal that really irritates you?
Respect.
Describe Fitch in 3 words.
Spirited, hectic, caring.
We're gonna stay on that track. If someone was going to describe you in 3 words, what do you think are the 3 words they'd use?
Probably insane, loud, and weird.
Since you said weird, I gotta ask, what's the weirdest thing you've ever done with your team,
With my team,
or with anybody, or in life? I don't care.
I can't even name one, honestly.
What teammate do you text the most?
Sophia Senadak.
What was the last thing you texted her?
I don't know what we were talking about. I think we were talking about our cap test that we had today, our anatomy graded paper that we had.
I'll do one more, and then we'll let you thank your support system. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
I'm definitely a night owl.
All right, Allie. I want to give you the time to thank the people that are there for you, the people that you wouldn't be where you are without, and the people that have supported you throughout your whole journey.
I definitely like to thank my dad and my mom who got me here to where I am today. Coach Ward, he's had a huge impact on me. All my JV coaches, all the varsity staff. And then I'd like to also thank my college coach for really giving me the chance to play. And then.
All right, Allie, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate having you on. We wish you the best of luck the rest of this tournament run. We hope it goes as far as possible. And we'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you for having me.
Allie Foley from Austintown Fitch joining us. And now we're going to be joined by Mark Bunch, who I can hear, but we can't see right now.
Yeah, we'll wait. He was talking about a little bit of technical difficulties down there in Mineral Ridge we might have to battle through. But I think he's getting it all set up there.
Yeah, we got it.
There we go.
Mark, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
I guess first and foremost, let's just talk about what does it feel like to be Superman? I mean, 2 consecutive no-hitters. No one is touching you right now. What does it feel like to be on top of the world?
It feels great. I really couldn't do all this without, my defense and my coaching, and the outings that I had, I really only had 12 strikeouts. So the other 10 or so outs goes to my defense, and that really helps me, get through the innings and keep my pitch count low and be efficient.
What was working so well for you, especially the last 2 starts? I mean, were you feeling right on the mound? Was one pitch working better than the rest? What do you think was going so well?
I think I was just pitching well. I was hitting my spots, and they were just hitting it to our defense, pitching ground balls. That was what I was doing, and we just got out early, and our offense kept hitting the ball, and that was basically it.
There's another new coach that was added in the area in the Mineral Ridge part of baseball, and Coach Ragazine. Talk about the relationship you have built with Coach Ragazine over this season and what it's been like for Rams baseball.
Yeah, once Coach Ragazine got here, I was a little excited because McDonald last year and the past few years has been a great program, and I knew he was coming from there. And since November, since our weightlifting program, I know it was going to be a special year, especially with our seniors. We have a good senior class, and I just knew we were going to make a good run, do some damage in the playoffs, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you talk about the senior class, and what's it like to be a part of this group and to play with them for so long and to have this kind of one last hurrah with your seniors?
It's great to be a part of this class, but unfortunately, our careers, sophomore year COVID and our junior year didn't have such a great year, but this year we're making the most of it, and we're going to come out and try and do as good as we can in the playoffs.
Being that you've had that unique experience, you mentioned the COVID year, and experiences not a lot of other high schoolers have had. What's some advice you would give to some upcoming players about playing baseball and just playing at the high school varsity level?
Well, baseball is a special sport. You go through a lot of adversity. It's just a game of failure, and you have to stay strong, work through it, and good things will happen.
What are some things you personally do to get through those ups and downs of baseball and to try to, like you said, stay even and pursue through the adversity?
Just keep working, and everyone has slumps every once in a while, but you just keep working, and eventually you'll get through it.
What is the go-to sunflower seed flavor for a Mark Bunch? Because I know there's a lot of them out there, and someone has their preferences. What's the go-to?
For me, probably either cracked pepper or Taco Bell are my top two.
We know that the dugouts in baseball can get loud, can get rowdy, can get a little chippy. That's part of the sport. You got to be able to not just heckle the other team, but heckle your own players too. What's your favorite kind of dugout chant or dugout saying that you guys have this year?
We really don't do like chants like that, but like we'll just cheer on our teammates, if they strike out or something like that, we'll pick them up and not to take it into the field and make errors and stuff like that. So just basically picking up our players when they're down.
If we're gonna put Mark Bunch on a Gatorade, would you put yourself on a flavor that already exists, or would you make a whole new flavor for the Bunch Punch maybe?
I would probably do orange. I don't know. It's just my favorite flavor, so probably orange.
Staying on brand too with Mineral Ridge. Talk about the school system here in Mineral Ridge and what it means to you to represent the Rams every night and what makes you so proud to be a Ram.
It's a great school system, and the sports are good, and back in the past, our sports haven't been too good the past few years, but we're looking to turn it around, starting with this baseball program, and we have a good track program and other sports like that.
What's some of the younger players on this team that you've kind of tried to take under your wing and offer as a mentorship for them for future seasons?
Probably Jack Gilly. When he's a senior or even upperclassman, he'll be something special on the mound. Unfortunately, this year he's hurt. He broke his thumb, but next year he'll have a good season.
I want to take you back to football season because obviously you're the quarterback at Mineral Ridge, and when you're a quarterback, you got to learn how to lead. You got to be able to lead a team. It's one of the requirements of that position. How much has that experience helped you become a leader in the other sports you play, especially baseball?
Well, football quarterback, it's everything. Leader of the team, like you said, and the lights just went on in this room.
It just went completely dark.
But being the leader of the team, I have to take the whole team under my wing, and just when a bad play happens or something like that, I have to pick them up and get them, basically tell them you get them next time and move forward.
I love how the lights went out in perfect composure all the way through it too. Talk about that composure that you have to have standing in the pocket, standing on the mound. What are some things you do to kind of calm yourself down during those peaks in the game where tensions are high and you need to kind of calm yourself down?
Being under pressure, I kind of live for those moments. I feel like I'm sometimes better under pressure than I am normally. So it's just kind of like it comes natural being in those.
What's your baseball journey been like? Talk about where it started and how it's grown and how the love for the game has grown over the years.
My baseball journey, I think I started playing when I was around like 5, so I've been playing for like 13 years or something like that. And starting out with Little League, it's always fun. Then we got into Pony, and it got a little bit more serious. And now high school, it's been a great experience, and we'll see where it goes from here.
What are some of the future goals and plans for Mark Bunch now after this season?
Well, as of right now, I'm not really undecided whether I'm going to college or going into a trade or what have you. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
Do you have like a dream job that like if logistics were an issue, you would be doing this?
I don't know if I would say I have a dream job, but if I go to college, I'd probably do something with sports, and if not, I'd probably go into the trades.
Looking at this entire this community too that was there to support you. I mean, Mineral Ridge always has a strong community. Talk to me about some of the biggest names in that community, whether it's some teachers or just some other big names that you've grown close with in the Mineral Ridge community that's had a big impact on your life.
You know, our coaches not being from Mineral Ridge, they have had a good impact, but other names that have good impact, you know, our teachers, our principal, Mr. Stevens, has had a good impact on, you know, our programs, and especially our football program, I think will be a lot better this year than it has in years past. And I don't really know who else, but Mr. Stevens and just the staff here and all the coaches have had a good impact on the kids.
All right, Mark, it's time to go into the rapid fire section of this interview. We'll try to learn a little bit more about you off the field and have some fun before we get out of here. I'll start with, what's your favorite part about being a baseball player?
Favorite part about being a baseball player? You know, I don't know. It's just, speaking from like a football aspect, you know, you only have 10 games, so you cherish them more week in and week out, but you can't, like, you can dwell on stuff that happened in the past in football because games are like each week, but in baseball, you know, you just have to forget about it. It's a tough sport. It's a sport of adversity, sport of failure, but you got to learn to overcome it, and that's what's really special about the game.
What about you has changed the most throughout your Mineral Ridge career?
I don't know. I've become more like cool, calm, and collected throughout my high school career. Like, going back to my freshman year, I was kind of like not really like a hothead like type of person, but like not as calm and collected as I am now.
What's your proudest accomplishment so far in Mineral Ridge?
With sports, probably my either one of my no hitters or beating Springfield last year, I guess.
All right, you've had a lot of coaches and a lot of different sports, so I'm going to put you on the spot. Who's your favorite coach?
My favorite coach? I don't know if I've had a favorite, but the one that's impacted me the most, probably, you know, Shaner's a great coach. Obviously, Coach Ragdazine's a great coach, but impacted me the most, probably Josh Goss from freshman year of football. He was the offensive.
Who is one teammate that you have learned from the most from? And I'm thinking like a Middle Ridge alum, that upperclassman that you kind of went through.
Probably, you know, Dakota Edwards from my freshman and sophomore year, from being second string QB under. You know, he really took me under his wing, and I learned a lot from him.
What teammate makes you laugh the most?
Laugh the most? Probably Peyton Zupka.
What is some advice you would give to someone who's coming up in the Middle Ridge program?
You know, it's a great program. Just, you know, play all the sports you can while you're here. Yeah, and you know, cherish it while you have it, because eventually it's going to end, whether you play college or go on to play college or not.
What's your favorite holiday?
Probably Christmas, I'd say.
What's your least favorite holiday?
Least favorite? I don't know. Probably like, I don't know. I'll just say like Easter or something. I don't know.
If you were given the power, what holiday would you create?
Create?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd probably just have like a second Christmas.
Oh, yes. What's the best Halloween costume you've worn or seen?
I don't know. There's some really cool costumes I've seen, but worn, I can't really remember. I think I was like Spider-Man one year or something, so I guess I guess that'd be the best.
What's the best Christmas present you've ever received?
Christmas present? Probably my Xbox or something like that.
What's the best gift you've ever given?
Given? I really couldn't tell you. I don't really remember.
Would you rather go forward in time or back in time?
Probably back in time, repeat high school. You know.
Okay, if we were going to give you a time machine and you could go back to any era, what era would you want to go back to?
Any era? Probably like the early 90s, 2000s, like when baseball players were juiced and just sent bombs.
Name one person from the past if you were going to go back in time that you'd want to meet.
Want to meet? I don't know. I guess it would be cool to meet like Barry Bonds or like Jim Thome or some guys like that.
Who's your favorite professional athlete?
Probably right now, Myles Garrett.
What's the best sport event that you've ever watched in person?
Watched in person. Like on TV or
yeah,
like
you can pick one that you've watched on TV. Either way, this is like your best sports memory from watching or
the 2016 Game 7 finals.
That's a popular pick in this neck of the woods. Would you rather be taller or shorter than you are right now?
If I were to pick, probably a little bit taller, but you know, I'm fine with how I am now.
What is one word that you have struggled with pronouncing, either now or in the past?
I don't know. I'll say maybe specific or something like that. I think I used to say Pacific or something.
What's your favorite video game?
Video game, probably 2K or MLB The Show.
Rate your video game talent from 1 to 10.
Probably a 9. I'd say I'm pretty good.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you want to live?
Probably somewhere out west, where it's not snowing into May.
Right. And then we'll leave you with this one. If you could afford any car, what car would you want to drive?
My dream car, probably like a 67 Mustang or like a Hellcat or something like that.
All right, before we let you go, we want to let you take the time to thank your support system, the people that are there for you, the people that have your back, and the people that have kind of been with you throughout your whole journey.
Yeah, I would just like to, thank the staff here and the coaches especially, and, my family has had a great impact on me. But, we went through a lot of adversity, especially the seniors with having so many different coaches, and I think, this year's coaches are really good and have had an impact on the whole team.
All right, Mark, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. It was a pleasure hearing from you. Good luck the rest of the season, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
All right. Thanks for
That was Mark Bunch. Man, is he on some kind of roll right now at Mineral Ridge? He has thrown no-hitters in his last 2 consecutive starts, and the Rams are a pretty high seed in this district tournament coming up too.
Yeah, Superman right now is what he's feeling like. He's on top of the world, and nothing's stopping him right now. And I mean, that's just some kind of roll, right? When you go back to back, boom, boom, it's you're doing something right. You're feeling some type of way on that mound. And Mark Bunch is getting a couple of no-hitters. Let's see how much further he can go. How many consecutive innings of no-hit baseball can Mark Bunch pitch?
Somewhere, some big super fan is understanding my reference of constantly putting the glasses back up on my nose like Clark Kent. So I embrace the nerdhood, and I know that somewhere someone understands the references that I make subtly.
He's just hoping there's that one.
There's that one person that watches. It's like, I see what you're doing, Ant. Oh, man. So we want to thank everyone that was able to come on the show live today. We want to thank Nicolina Pizzone and Melina Williams from Struthers, and their softball program got that big win over Jefferson to advance in the tournament. We want to thank Allie Foley for coming on live from Fitch Softball. We want to thank Mark Bunch, who just joined us and had a great interview. But someone else that we were able to talk to literally right before the show. I mean, we got done with the interview, we popped on this link, and we almost hit live as soon as we were done. We talked to Samantha A. from Austintown Fitch, who also made a decision recently about where she wants to play softball in college. All that and more in this interview. We hope you enjoy it, and it's a good one. We'll stick with Fitch for a little bit, and we'll be back after this pre-recorded interview airs on Running Point. Anthony Harwig, Ty Bartell here with a Fitch softball player profile. We are joined by Samantha A. of Fitch Softball. Samantha, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Sam, the first and foremost reason of why we're even having this player profile is I think some news broke of a guaranteed, I guess, 4 more years of playing softball at the next level. So I wanted to give you the opportunity to anyone that may have not have heard the news to break where you're going to be going to college next season.
I will be attending Baldwin Wallace.
Now, talking about that, what was the decision that went into Baldwin Wallace University, and what was the kind of weighing out process with other colleges that made you decide and fit on Baldwin Wallace?
Baldwin Wallace just had, like, the campus was everything I wanted. The coach, he was very, like, he was like a team coach, not like an individual. And he cares about, like, everybody on the team, unlike a lot of the other coaches. So I just felt like all the girls were nice, and I just felt like I'd fit in there.
We know that the recruiting process can be stressful, and it can put a lot of pressure on athletes to try to impress college coaches all the time. How much of a relief is it to make this decision, know where you're going, and not have to worry about all that mess anymore?
It is a huge relief because my emails would always be blowing up, and there would always be coaches reaching out to me, asking me to come visit, even colleges I haven't even heard of. So it's just a huge relief knowing that I don't have to, like, not worry about it, but like worry about it anymore.
Ty, I think you're muted, bud.
I think I'd be remiss to say that you've had a very interesting and unique 4 years of high school softball experience. The sophomore year not happening at all at high school. Junior year, you have a very great pitcher in Lydia Spalding, and now right back at it with Sydney Watts at this. Pinned this year amongst the other ones that you participated in with high school softball. What makes this year so unique, and what's this experience like your senior year?
So my freshman year, I was at Boardman. And then my sophomore year was canceled. And junior year, I was at Lakeview. So this year, I was looking forward to coming to Fitch a lot because it's a better program. And everybody's like a team player, aren't one-on-one. And we all just like work together, push each other. So I feel like this year has the most impact on me because the bond with all of the players is amazing. And the coach bond is amazing. Everything about Fitch softball and their program is amazing.
And you said that this year has had the most impact on you. So what I'm going to ask is, between the last 3 years and this year, how much do you think you have grown just this season with Fitch softball and with this program?
I honestly think I have grown more as a person, like characteristic wise, rather than a player, because everybody like pushes you towards your goals at Fitch. Everybody is like very supportive, and like if you're down, they push you, and it's just very supportive as a characteristic. And I feel like I grew as a person more than a player.
Talking about that too, and just looking at this team from an outsider's perspective, there is so many unique personalities on this Fitch softball team. Talk to me about just the one that's the loudest in the dugout is the question that we keep having going around. And then also, who's the one that can always make you laugh no matter what the situation is?
There's a few that are the loudest in the dugout. I'd probably have to point out Kayla Schubert, Allie Foley, and Ayla Ray. They are probably the loudest ones in the dugout because we have the paddles and they bang them on everything.
You know, Ty, correct. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. And then the one that makes me laugh no matter what is probably Ayla Ray.
Ty, correct me if I'm wrong, but we've asked that question a lot. I think Ayla Ray gets her first shout out as loudest in the dugout.
And you know what? It's so interesting because she's one of the quietest girls outside of like.
She's loud in the dugout, especially with Allie.
Allie and Kayla have been getting most of those nods as votes for loudest in the dugout.
Yeah.
We talk about this personality and the head of the ship, the one that gets to control all you guys, have to deal with all you guys, is Steve Ward. Talk about what an impact being with Coach Ward has been on you.
Being with Coach Ward, he is probably one of the best coaches I've had because he cares more about like how you're doing as a person than how you are as like a player. Like he still cares about like player wise, but he always checks up on all of us to make sure we're like physically and mentally okay before every practice, before every game, which is like a very like big impact on like mental health because it helps a lot.
You mentioned playing for different schools throughout your high school career. Do you see it as an advantage going into the next level, having so much exposure to different coaching styles and different play styles?
I do. I see it as an advantage because I know like what I work with and like what I don't work with. Like there were a few coaches in the past where like I just wasn't having it, and there are coaches where like they help a lot. So I know like the different styles that work for me and don't.
When you look at this team and being a part of this program, obviously you probably had some expectations coming in on what it was going to be like because it was your first year with them. How did expectations meet reality?
So the standard is very high at Fitch. Like it's, I don't want to say like outrageous, but it is very high. And with that being said, it just pushes all of us even more and to becoming a better person and player, which is very like, I want to say good. So
Coming in though as a senior this year, you're kind of asked to take a leadership role because you've been there, done that in the softball realm, at least in the high school level. Do you see the Myrtle Beach trip as being beneficial, as kind of, I don't want to say putting your place or your footprint on as being a leader, but kind of getting closer with the team and just getting that trust built even more?
Yes, the Myrtle Beach trip did help a lot. We had a lot of team bonding. Like for instance, we all went on the banana boat together, and that was very fun. And it was like competitive too at times because I don't know how to explain it. Like we were all trying to like be together as one, but sometimes it would get hard because other girls were like going with their families. And then, so there was like a lot of, I don't want to say arguing or like disagreeing, but there were times where we were down and we all had to like come back together and like restore our bond.
Obviously, to play softball for as long as you have and to want to continue playing at the next level, you have to love it. So talk about your love story with softball, where it started and how it's grown over the years.
So I played in Boardman until probably freshman year. I started sophomore year in Boardman, and then season got canceled and I moved to Lakeview. So growing up, I played for Boardman Little Spartans. It was the Boardman Community Softball Program. My dad was my coach, and Marco Marinucci, who is now the Boardman Athletic Director, he was my coach all the way till 16U, and then our team fell apart, so I moved to Valley Extreme with Joe Angelo, who's the Canfield coach. So having different high school coaches and figures as my like travel coaches was a big impact, and playing them in high school like made it more, I don't want to say competitive, but more competitive because they were like my travel coaches. So with that being said, softball it had a huge impact on my life, especially all the players, all the coaches, all the bonds I made and friendships.
Let's talk about this season too, and just what you guys have been able to do. You came across another win yesterday too, moving on to the next round, and it turns out to be Louisville. Talk to me about just some of the goals in this tournament for your senior season, final season in high school softball.
So our goals are to make it all the way to state, and with the way we've been playing, I believe we do have a very good shot at that if we stay strong and just keep working together. And I hope to keep the bond that we have because our team has an amazing bond. and we all just need to keep pushing each other and encouraging each other to do better.
All right, Sam, before we let you go, let's have a little rapid fire section of this this interview to get to know you a little bit off the field. And I'll start with this: sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
All right, a night in or a night out?
Night in.
All right, are you someone that learns more by listening and watching, or doing?
Doing.
What is your hidden talent?
Tumbling, like gymnastics.
Oh, that's a good one. What is one mythical creature that you wish existed?
A unicorn.
That is like the most popular answer ever. If we were gonna put you on a game show, what game show do you think you would have the best chance at winning?
Jeopardy.
What is your favorite subject in school?
Math.
Favorite if you could have any animal as a pet, what would you have?
A giraffe.
If you were not playing the sport you were playing, what sport would you want to play?
Tennis.
What is the best vacation you've ever had?
Hawaii.
What's your dream vacation?
Bahamas.
What food do you cook the best?
Chicken Alfredo.
And what is the last thing you cooked?
Steak.
Who do you text the most?
Caitlin Mitchell.
What was the last thing you texted Caitlin Mitchell?
Hi, and she didn't answer.
Oh man, she's in trouble now. What was the last time that the last craft that you made? Arts and crafts.
Earrings.
What is one thing that you spend a lot of money on that you probably shouldn't?
Clothes.
What was your last impulse buy?
This headband.
Yes, of the props. What teammate can cheer you up no matter what the situation is?
Ayla Ray.
And if you could live anywhere in the world, where would you want to live?
Ireland.
All right. One last thing before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to thank your support system, the people that are always there for you, and the people that you probably wouldn't be where you are on this journey without.
I just want to say thank you to all of my teammates, Coach Ward, all of my coaches in the past, all my friends, all my family, and just everybody for being there for me throughout this whole process.
All right, Samantha, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll talk to you again real soon, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
That was Sammy A, as I think Ant's a little bit muted right now, but that was Samantha A from Fitch Softball.
Didn't get muted.
Going to Baldwin Wallace University, broke that news too, signing to the next level. So exciting to obviously hear another athlete going to the next level.
I believe it's the Malden Wallace Yellowjackets.
Of course, Anthony's he's all about that too. He's like, Jackets are Yellowjackets, same thing.
So different logo, but same mascot.
But
I approve.
Getting a lot of love during that interview too from Coach Ward, as well as just some other fans around the area too. As great interviews today from all over the place too. We were in the softball world, we were in the baseball world. A lot of just great athletes highlighted.
Struthers, Fitch.
I mean, yeah, we were everywhere there too. We still got to get to some games that we have coming up too on tonight's slate, as well as just get into what we're going to have as well for Friday's edition of Running Point.
We're going to have all that and more. We'll take a break. Be back on Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com. and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends: shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, shop with confidence knowing we're ready to go the extra mile for you. With the largest selection of used vehicles in the Valley, backed by the Greenwood Advantage Warranty. Every one of our vehicles has undergone our own 126-point inspection, so it passes the most important inspection, yours. No other dealership has the extra inventory, gives you extra for your trade, and goes the extra mile for you. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickie Electric.
Joe Dickie Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig alongside Ty Bartell. And Ty, we got some games to preview on the network tonight. And before we do, I just want to go over some results on the baseball side of things last night, because we're still in the last regular season last week of the regular season in baseball. And the biggest one, Boardman, got the win over Fitch to secure a share of that AAC championship.
Yeah, and Boardman is the only team right now that owns a win over every team inside the AAC right now. So Fitch has an opportunity to do so. They need to beat Howland to secure their share of the AAC championship. But you mentioned it, and I mean, Boardman had to go into that game, and they had a job to do. Their only path where they had control over it was beat Fitch and you're in. And they did so. They took care of business, and they got themselves a share.
Another championship was given out last night as South Range softball beat Girard 17-4 to claim the outright championship of the NE8. It took them all the way down to their final NE8 game, but by golly, South Range earns their first outright NE8 championship. They had to share last year with Poland, and then 2 years ago, which was, 3 years ago, 2 seasons ago, in 19, it was the first year of the NE8, and Poland won that year. So first outright championship, for South Range in NE8 play.
And I mean, congratulations to the Raiders, as they emphatically took it in this last game too, and they were making no mistakes about it. They wanted to walk away champions, and they're going to do so now. As congratulations, South Range Raiders are your 2022 NE8 champions.
All right, all the recaps and post-game stories can be found on ysnlive.com. Make sure to head over there. There were some other good baseball games last night. Crestview got a win. And actually, I think they threw a no-hitter too. I think Friesel threw a no-hitter for Crestview. No-hitters galore. Champion threw a no-hitter 2 days ago in baseball. So no-hitter. They're starting to become more and more of a common threat.
A lot of good pitching in this area, and I mean, it's being showcased on full force in both the baseball and softball realm. We're seeing no-hitters. We're seeing perfect games. I mean, we just have a lot of pitching talent in this particular area of this region right now. And just enjoy it while it's here, folks. Get out there, support these students. Get out there and go to these games. And if you can't, you know where you can find them, right here on ysnlive.com, because you need to get them while it's hot, because this is something really special happening in this area.
Salem bounced back with a win over West Branch in extras, 17-10. They scored 7 runs in the top of the 9th inning to beat West Branch in 9. So Salem gets their revenge on the road. They go over to Beloit and beat the Warriors. South Range. No, I'm sorry. That's Crestview and South Range's uniforms are both yellow with the stripe down the middle. So Crestview did get the win in baseball. We saw that's actually okay. Okay. All the recaps can be found on ysnlive.com. We got through all the ones that I wanted to get to. I had a list and I was like, oh, we hit that. So sorry for my confusion for a second, but we got through all the ones I wanted to get to. So now let's go to the games that'll be on tonight. We'll start with baseball. Remember, these are free because they're regular season games. So head over to ysnlive.com/live to find these ones. Struthers will be at Lowville, which is at Scene Park. It'll be on Scene 2 at 5 o'clock. Eric Hughes will be on the call. We have Warren JFK at Cardinal Mooney. This will be on Scene 1 at 5 o'clock. Should be a good one. Noah Doty will be on the call there. Howland against Austintown Fitch, which is Fitch's opportunity to claim that share of the AAC crown. I'm sure Boardman will be watching your game tonight with a lot of anticipation, as you'll be on the call 7 o'clock first pitch, and I believe it's also senior night for Fitch.
Yeah, so a really special night tonight for the Falcons as senior night under the lights.
We'll go to East Liverpool at Beaver Local, the rivalry. That one will be on video only at 5 o'clock from Beaver Local. And
That'll
then
be another rivalry game.
Canton South traveling to Louisville will be on the network at 5 o'clock. First pitch there for baseball. Some other games going on around the area. Champion will be traveling to Liberty. Latonia travels to Heartland Christian at the next level facility in Unity. Middle Ridge, who we just talked to with Mark Bunch, he'll be going to Niles to face the Dragons. Poland traveling to Boardman. We have Salem traveling to Carrollton. South Range will be at Lakeview. Springfield travels to Hubbard. United will travel to Camel, and Warren Harding will be at Jefferson. Those are all 5 o'clock first pitches for baseball. Some really good matchups, though. I think South Range and Lakeview. Lakeview's already proven they can beat really big teams.
Yeah.
Springfield at Hubbard should be a really good game. And I'm kind of looking forward also to one that'll be on the network with JFK and Mooney on Scene 1.
That'll be a fun one too. Catch that one on the network for free too. Remember, regular season is free, thanks in part to all of our great sponsors too that you'll see rolling through all of those games too. We can't be done without them, so we obviously offer thanks to them for being able to do so.
One softball regular season game is Lakeside travels to Jefferson. Pat Sartor will be on the call from Jefferson, 5 o'clock first pitch there. That one will be free. It's regular season. These ones are the tournament games. They will be $9.99. Gets you access to each and every game that's on the network. We have 4 of them tonight. United will be at Crestview for the sectional championship. Edgewood and Hubbard will square off to try to punch their tickets to districts. Rootstown travels to Champion. That's a 5 o'clock first pitch. By the way, Chris Sigler will be in Crestview, and Noah Ricks will be in Hubbard. Rootstown at Champion, that'll be Brian Overidge on the call there. And then Waterloo will be traveling to Cardinal Mooney at the Field of Dreams, 5 o'clock first pitch. Alec Caberna will be on the call there. Some other games happening.
I was going to say, for the ones on the network, that Waterloo Cardinal Mooney game is going to be interesting, but I'm really interested in that Rootstown Champion game. I mean, Rootstown, never a slouch over there in Portage, and of course, we know what Champion's made of. That should be a fun one.
Some other games going on around the area and in the sectional finals. We have East Palestine making the trip to South Range for a chance at districts. Gilmore Academy at Columbiana. Like, Clippers better not sleep on Gilmore. This is a really good Lancer team that comes in, and they have upset on the mind. We're hoping on YSN that the Clippers can shrug it off and take care of business at home. Grand Valley will be at Ursuline. That'll be at McCoon Park, not at YSU Softball Complex, because YSU is currently hosting the Horizon League Softball Championships. So, unfortunately, if you didn't know, YSU Softball lost both their games yesterday, so they are eliminated from that championship, but they are still hosting that whole tournament all weekend. So, if you want some good softball, head on down there. Oakland, who is the 1 seed, is coached by former Poland Bulldog, Jenna Modick. So shout out to Coach Modick and the Oakland Grizzlies as they compete in the Horizon League tournament. Gerard will be at West Branch. That'll be a sectional final for the Warriors. Geneva will be at Canfield. Kirtland travels to Springfield, and Struthers travels to Poland. Those are all sectional finals in divisions 2 and 3. So that means after tonight, we will know who's going to be in districts in divisions 2 and 3. And obviously 1 and 4 have already been solidified last night for their sectional finals.
Yeah, and we're going to have a lot more things cleared up after tonight's slate of games, and we're going to know exactly what our district semis are going to look like then for these respective districts, and we're going to go one step closer to everyone's goal of the state championship.
The road to state continues. Ty, before we go, what game are you most looking forward to in the softball tournaments tonight?
Tonight, in particular?
Yeah.
I would say in the softball tournament, I mentioned the Rootstown at champion game. I think Brian Oatridge is going to be on the call for that. Rootstown is always a really good team, too, in Portage County. Both their baseball and softball programs, they always have good coaching and a good atmosphere and a good culture there. So they're going to be a well-coached team, but they're going up against, of course, one of the best in the modern era and the best that has multiple three-peats. I think 8 total state championships. 9 total state championships, excuse
and Cheryl
me.
Weaver has been there for 6 of them.
Yeah, so I mean the flashes are, I think, one of the best
appearances, I should say.
So this is going to be, I think that's going to be a great matchup that you'll get. Of course, $9.99 will get you 4 games access tonight, but I think that one's going to be well worth it too.
I'm looking at United Crestview.
That one's going to be fun.
That's a big matchup between 2 really good pitchers in Caden Sutton and Torrey Firth. I think
what 2 no-hitters. Firth has a perfect game on the season.
I think, Gilmore Academy and Columbiana, don't look at the seedings. That's going to be a really good game in the bottom half of that Canfield district.
He's back. Ant B-Mac's back.
B-Mac, we haven't heard from you in so long.
Shelby
What's
Cracker.
up, buddy?
Pitcher for Rootstown is a stud, and that's B-Mac knows too. He's really up to date with these Portage County teams too, and he knows this is going to be a good one between Champion and Rootstown for a sectional final. I mean, this is a great matchup.
And here's another one that could be, really good. Springfield hosting Kirtland. We saw Kirtland go into LaBrea last year and upset their way into districts in LaBrea. Now Kirtland trying to do the same thing this year as they travel to Springfield. Springfield, they had that comeback victory where they were down 5-0 to Garfield to get to this point. You wonder, it could go both ways. It could be they could still play shaky that got them in that 5-0 hole, or they could just ride that whole momentum that scored 7 unanswered runs into this game.
Yeah, and that's going to be interesting to see which team kind of shows up too. Are we going to get that first few innings team, or are we going to get the last few? That's definitely going to be an interesting matchup, and you're going to always have to bring your best because we know Kirtland always has good athletes.
Yeah, and it's always tough to beat a team 3 times, so I'm going to keep a little bit of an eye on that Struthers Poland game. I know the 2 matchups were kind of uncompetitive, but Struthers has momentum, and it's hard to beat teams 3 times in a row. So,
I mean, hey,
that's a wild card game.
Players are catching fire at the right times. We just talked to one of them too, Melina Williams. I mean, a freshman that's hitting 500 this season.
And then Nicolina Pizzone is hitting 600.
Yes. So, I mean, they got the hitters to do so, and they have the hitters that compete. That one's going to be worth keeping an eye on.
All right, we want to thank all the guests once again that came on the show today. Recap in case you missed some of it. We had start off the show with Nicolina Pizzone and Melina Williams, who both came on from Struthers. We want to thank them. We want to thank Allie Foley for her time coming on from Austintown Fitch. We want to thank Mark Bunch for taking the time to join us as well. He has thrown back-to-back no-hitters and 2 starts, and he came on to talk to us about that. We also want to thank Samantha A. for coming on a little bit before the show and doing a pre-recorded one fresh off the oven that we were able to premiere on Running Point. So we want to thank all of our guests, and let's look at what we're going to have tomorrow. We're going to be featuring an interview with Bayan Jadala from Canfield. And then we are also, Ty, going to be going into Bomber Country. We have 3 Wyndham interviews scheduled for tomorrow.
And I mean, it's just it works out perfectly that BMAC came in right on time. I believe we have Chase I, Jack I, and then we have Wyatt Hanshaw that is all going to be joining us from the Bombers baseball team tomorrow. So we're excited to go into Bomber Country and talk about them maybe hitting some bombs in the tournament.
Those will all be consecutive, with starting at 12:30, Chase I, then Jack I, and then Wyatt Hanshaw coming on at 1. So from 12:30 to 1, it's Bomber Country. We'll also be featuring an interview with Bayan Jadala from Canfield. So that's all coming up tomorrow, plus sectional championship recaps, plus baseball recaps from tonight, plus weekend preview. Lot to talk about. there's some regular season softball games that are happening over the weekend that are very, very good. So we'll have some softball to preview as well for you softball junkies like me.
Yeah, that'll obviously be fun. And don't forget, folks, too, as well as with all these interviews, the best part of it being live, too, is the live comment section, too. So we always love the support we see for our athletes during the interview. Don't be afraid to even ask a question, too. Join the conversation. We love when we have the fans offer questions to the student athletes as well.
I love that we're seeing family members of other area schools.
It's awesome.
Show love to these players. Like it just shows you how deep the community of baseball and softball really is. And when you played summer ball, you're going to play with some of these girls that aren't on your team. I mean, how about yesterday when we had Chelsea Williams do an interview and then she got off of her interview and was giving love to Emily Knight from Newton Falls after.
It's a big family and a big world in the softball community too, and everyone's just supporting everyone, it seems like.
So it's going to be crazy. We'll be back tomorrow from 12 to 2. Power Hour coming up next. Well, yeah, I did that yesterday too, Ty.
Yeah, you're jumping the Power Hour.
Casual sports coming up next from 2 to 3. Power Hour, it's Spartyville all the day. We're going to have DJ's going to have talks with the track team that won the AAC last night, and he's also going to have some baseball players from their AAC championship baseball team on as well. So if you're a Spartans fan, do not miss the Power Hour from 3 to 4 with DJ. It's going to be fun. They're going to Spartan up, and it's going to be a fun time. That'll be from 3 to 4. We're going to take a 22-hour break. We'll be back tomorrow from 12 to 2, and we will see you all next time.